money allows you a lot wider range of choices in life, but it doesn't necessarily make you happy. So the parable is, there are these two boys who grew up together. They're childhood friends. As frequently happens, they go their different directions in life as they become adults. And one becomes a very successful, powerful minister to the king, and the other becomes a humble monk in tattered robes with a begging bowl and what have you. And years later, they run into each other on the road, and they're getting reacquainted. And as they are, the minister, the king, takes pity on his poverty-stricken friend in his tattered robes. And he says, if you could learn to cater to the king, you wouldn't have to live on rice and beans. To which the monk replies, if you could learn to live on rice and beans, you wouldn't have to cater to the king. For me, I've always been a little bit more towards the monk side. I'm not a very materialistic person, and I'm comfortable and able to get along on very little. And I think there's something beautiful about needing less.
I think it's safe to say that the richest people I know are amongst the least happy people I know. I think whatever's taken them there is still haunting them while they're there. So it could be the chip on the shoulder, the insecurity, whatever happened to them that made them so driven and obsessed with validation and climbing is still haunting them now. But I do know people, like I say, that are very, very rich and that live remarkably content lives. And I think part of it is their relationship with the stuff.
It's the journey that's really satisfying. The destination tends to be less so. And I think that's one of the problems with being very materialistic, because if your definition of happiness is, if I only owned this watch, then I would be happy. Well, I mean, maybe, but probably not. You're probably going to have that watch and you're going to look at it and say, oh, that's really nice. Wow, that's good. And then, well, what's next? But if you enjoy the journey, or if you reset your expectations and say, I'm going to have this nice house or this nice watch, but I don't expect it to make me happy. As somebody once said, much wiser than me, money doesn't change who you are. It can magnify who you are. So if you're an unhappy person and you have lots of money, you will probably still be an unhappy person. There's other things besides money that makes you happy. Money gives you options.